Hello, I'm David Rose, and here's a look at some of our top cases featured on Washington's Most Wanted this weekend in partnership with Crime Stoppers. Starting with a case that unfortunately proves the phrase that no good deed goes unpunished. A driver's moment of kindness backfires and almost cost him his life when he's shot by another driver for taking a brief moment to hand some money to someone in need. So on the one hand, we've got a victim showing compassion for his fellow man. On the other, a violent and dangerous road rage suspect who needs to be caught. So take a look at this surveillance video from around 8 p.m. on Friday, May 28th. The victim in the silver vehicle had experienced homelessness himself at one point. So when he saw a transient man at the corner of East 28th Street and Bay Street in front of the Emerald Queen Casino, he took a few seconds to roll down his window and give him some extra change. Well, that didn't sit well with the driver in the dark blue Kia Optima behind him, who starts honking and yelling at him. Well, the victim drives forward and both of them make it through the light. But that driver trailing right behind him was still enraged. He then pulled alongside the victim and opened fire.
Our victim received a gunshot wound to the leg, multiple gunshots in his car, and he narrowly escaped death because there was a bullet that was lodged right near where his head was in the ceiling of his car.
Detectives with the Washington State Patrol located this security footage of the suspect getting gas moments before the shooting. Troopers describe him as black, in his late 30s to early 40s, with a full beard and wearing a beanie. They're hoping one of you watching tonight can identify him and hold him accountable for this senseless act of violence against somebody who was just trying to lend a helping hand.
He recognized somebody in his own situation and had a little bit extra to give, and so he did something kind and generous, and we need more of that. We shouldn't be punished for doing something kind.
So we want to give you another look at the car the suspect was driving. It's a deep, dark blue Kia Optima, and it appears to have custom wheels. The cameras could not be enhanced enough to get a clear image of that license plate, and the credit card reader did not give them enough information to track down this suspect. So now it's in your court. If you know who this man is, you will remain completely anonymous and collect a cash reward of up to $1,000 when you submit the information to Crime Stoppers of Tacoma Pierce County. You can do that by texting it through the P3 Tips app on your cell phone or call 1-800-222-TIPS. Now to the search for the worst of the worst. A convicted child molester wanted on a new charge of assault. So take a look at William Gary Fugitt Jr., a.k.a. Billy Fugitt. Pierce County Sheriff's deputies and Department of Corrections officers are asking for your help to find him. Pierce County prosecutors have charged him with assault in the second degree. Deputies say he held a knife to another man's throat until the victim gave him some money so he could go get some beer at the liquor store.
He's not a good guy. We don't want him out there on the street. He needs to come in and do his time for his crimes. If he's not going to abide by his probation, then he doesn't need to be out on the street. So we need your help finding him and bringing him back into custody.
Billy Fugitt has a long criminal history in Pierce County. He was convicted of molesting 2 little girls in 1991 and sentenced to more than 7 years in prison. That was after he pled guilty in 1986 to indecent liberties that started when a victim was 7 years old, assaulting her, choking her, and threatening her with a knife over a period of 8 years. Fugitt has not participated in sex offender treatment. He is classified as a level 3 sex offender. That means he is the most likely to reoffend. He's believed to be transient in the Tacoma area, and he might be driving a green Honda Odyssey minivan with no license plate and a temporary tag in the back window. William Gary Fugitt Jr. is 53 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall, 255 pounds, with hazel eyes. Call 911 if you spot him, and then submit a tip to Crime Stoppers of Tacoma Pierce County through the P3 Tips app on your cell phone for a cash reward of up to $1,000. Now take a look at this video from Maple Valley showing a smash-and-grab burglary suspect in a Caterpillar sweatshirt. King County Sheriff's detectives are asking for your help to identify him after he stole more than $700 worth of Washington State lottery tickets, 16 Maxi torch lighters, 5 cartons of Camel cigarettes, and 35 packs of Lucky Strike cigarettes.
This wasn't some Hollywood heist. This is just a fellow with a rock. He shatters the front window, goes inside, then helps himself to cartons of cigarettes and lottery tickets. Take a look at that Caterpillar sweatshirt he's wearing. What we know is that these burglars brag. They're going to tell someone. They're going to try and sell these cigarettes online. They're going to try and offer these lottery tickets before someone reports them stolen. King County Sheriff's Office, there's no such thing as just a property crime. There are people behind every business. That's why we need to get this fellow in custody.
The break-in occurred at 3:30 a.m. on Sunday, June 13th. All told, he got away with more than $1,500 worth of stolen lottery tickets and cigarettes. He was wearing a baseball cap under the dark-colored hooded sweatshirt, a COVID mask, light-colored pants, and he was carrying a backpack. If he's tried to sell cigarettes to you, or if you know his name, please submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound through the P3 Tips app on your cell phone or call 1-800-222-TIPS. You will be paid a cash reward of up to $1,000 for any information that leads to his arrest. Tonight, Seattle police are trying to identify whoever murdered this promising artist and left her body at a popular park. And we are learning more from the artist's family as they hold on to hope for answers and clues to try to help capture whoever killed Necia McKendrick Mendez. Here's Washington's Most Wanted's Olivia LaVoice with her story.
Loved ones say Necia McKendrick Mendez felt most at home in Seattle.
She loved it here.
Necia lived on Capitol Hill and was making a mark there with her artwork.
I don't know where she found that passion to paint. It takes me so long to find the willingness to be creative, but she just oozed it.
Life was good when Sapphire Mendez visited her mother in April, but not long after Sapphire returned home to Texas, everything changed.
She wasn't answering her phone anymore.
Family was worried, but hoped Necia had just lost her phone, something she'd done before.
And I got a call with a 206 number. And I was so excited because I was like, oh my God, Mom found my number. She's calling me. I can't wait to hear her voice. I said hi. I was so excited. I left dinner and everything. And I realized it was a detective on the phone.
The detective was calling to inform her her mother's body had been found over Memorial Day weekend. Necia was found in a secluded area off of Interlaken Park. She'd been murdered.
I had to be the one to tell my Grammy that she lost her daughter.
It just killed me. It really killed me.
Necia's family says some of her treasured artwork was found scattered around her body.
At this point, we have no video, no real credible witnesses, but somebody knows who did this.
My biggest concern is this happening to somebody else.
So they need a tip from one of you who knew her or knew who could hurt her so violently like this. They're still working on the cause of death, but it was horrendous. Please submit a tip to Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound at 1-800-222-TIPS or text a tip through the P3 Tips app on your cell phone. It's anonymous. You will never be asked to give your name. You will be paid a $1,000 cash reward if your information leads to an arrest. King County Sheriff's detectives really need your help to locate a convicted felon who police say keeps getting his hands on guns when he shouldn't have any firearms at all. Beyond that, he's also accused of leading state troopers on a chase that ended in a crash that could have left someone badly hurt or killed. Deputies are searching for 20-year-old Ramon Huerta Valera. And look closely at his tattoos. He's got tats above his eyebrow, below his eye, and across his neck. Troopers say in March he led them on a chase along State Route 167 in the Kent area, at times topping 100 miles an hour before crashing right into a car stopped on a ramp. Fortunately, nobody was seriously hurt. Huerta Valera was taken into custody, but then he bailed out before investigators could serve a search warrant on the crashed car. And inside that car, they say they found 4 handguns. Prosecutors tell us he skipped out on not 1, but 2 court dates. Officials say they're very nervous about his reckless driving, and also, the longer he's free, more illegal guns could end up on the street.
What we know based on history is that this 20-year-old man, one, has collected a fair number of felonies, but we know he's always going to be armed, sometimes with multiple guns, as we're seeing in this case. We need to get him in custody. We need to let him know that possessing firearms, especially as a convicted felon at the age of 20, is just putting him on an even darker path.
If you know where deputies can find Ramon Huerta Valera, or if you have any information that can lead to his arrest, please submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound. You will never be asked to give your name. You will get a cash reward of up to $1,000 if that tip leads to his capture. It's not very often we see a ginger-haired bank robber, but that clue might help you identify him for Tacoma police and earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Take a look at the suspect detectives are trying to identify. He's in his 20s, 5 feet 5 inches tall, 160 pounds, with red hair. He's wearing a black hooded sweatshirt and a blue disposable mask.
So on June 16th, shortly after 9:30 a.m., this suspect entered a bank at 870 South 38th Street in Tacoma, Washington. He immediately went up to a teller, provided her a note demanding cash, and when he was given cash, he immediately exited the bank and fled on foot in an alley.
So take one more look at his red hair and eyes. If you can tell Tacoma police who this is, submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers, and you're going to get a cash reward of up to $1,000. You can text photos and information right through the P3 Tips app on your cell phone. We're following an urgent search for this man accused of beating and strangling a woman in Auburn. Scott McMillan is behind bars tonight. Auburn police arrested him on June 9th thanks to a tip from a Washington's Most Wanted viewer. He was spotted at a bus stop near a 7-Eleven and quickly put into cuffs.
This just proves that the show and the Washington's Most Wanted viewers, they do the right thing, and we're able to get these folks in custody and hold them accountable.
McMillan was booked into the Regional Justice Center where he's being held on $100,000 bail. His arrest brings the total number of fugitives you have helped catch to 1,214. Many of you may not realize that each Crime Stoppers program is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. The cash rewards they pay to tipsters come directly from donations from the public. When you give to Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound, it's tax deductible, and every dollar you donate goes to keeping your community safe. They can't continue to help solve crimes without your support. To make a donation, just go to crimestoppers.com and look for the Donate tab. That's a look at some of the cases featured this weekend that we need your help to solve. I hope you'll join me for the full show. Washington's Most Wanted, Friday night, 11 o'clock on Q13 Fox. Saturday night, 9:30 on Joe TV and 10:30 p.m. on Q13 Fox and Fox TV stations in Spokane, Yakima, and the Tri-Cities. And together, we can make sure all of these criminals have nowhere left to hide.